Right, it's 8:26 on this Wednesday morning. You're watching Breakfast Television. This is absolutely perfect that I get to talk about this morning because at my house we are in the midst of a process of my daughter getting braces. So Dr. Sam Dar is here this morning from Fresh Smile Orthodontics. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And you know what I was saying to you during the break? I went into the wrong line of business, my friend, because you guys, you got it all going on, you orthodontists, right?
Well, a lot of all-nighters went into that. So.
Really? How many years of school?
10 years in total.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
So.
But there's not very many orthodontists around either.
No, there's 600 in all of Canada and maybe 100 in BC or a bit less, as a matter of fact. So.
You guys have a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
Don't you? So let's talk about that because now my daughter's 11 and about to get braces. Now, what is the age-appropriate time to do that?
Well, we start screening children at the age of 7 because there's certain problems they want to treat early on. If a tooth is impacted and so on and so forth, we start at the age of 7. If all is well and we can treat it at the age of 11, between 11 and 13 would be the ideal age to actually have treatment, orthodontic treatment.
Okay. Now, does orthodontic treatment necessarily always mean braces?
No, that's a good question. There's certain appliances we can do expansion. Sometimes it's a bone problem and there's a constriction and you just place an appliance to expand the palate. So it doesn't always necessarily mean braces. I'm sure everybody knows about headgears and stuff as well, which we use a lot less commonly nowadays. But no, it doesn't always mean braces.
And the attitude's really changed, hasn't it? Because when I was a kid and I had braces, that was a big deal. And now, not so much.
No, not as much, because the braces used to be a lot larger. A lot more metal.
I remember very well.
So you've been traumatized.
Yes, I have.
So yeah, no. And this actually, the other time I had a child that came in, mom brought him in, and I said, "You look at beautiful teeth. You don't need braces." Start bawling. What do you mean? All my friends have it. So the attitude has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, when the pressure is to have them. Okay, well, let's talk about length of time. Is it generally still about 2 years that you're going to have braces?
2 years, 1.5 to 2 years, because of the technology has come a long way. So now we don't use stainless steel wires as much. We use nickel titanium wires, which is a softer wire, so that actually speeds up treatment. So 1.5 to 2 years is the common, whereas it used to be 2 to 3 years in the last maybe 15 years.
That's pretty good then, right? And the cost is still, I mean, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, but the cost hasn't really gone up all that much from the last 20 years.
Right. Okay, now there's all sorts of different things that you can do in this regard, right? So let's take a look at some of the treatment options that people have here.
Absolutely. Right here we have the...
Oh, hey, let's put that there so people can actually see what you're talking about. There you go. What's that one there?
This metal braces are on the top teeth, and just to compare it to porcelain braces on the bottom.
Okay, so these are two different kinds, right?
Different kinds.
So metal and porcelain.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
So metal on top, the traditional braces, they've been around for a little over 100 years.
Right.
So metal braces, they're actually glued on or cemented on.
Okay.
The bottom part are the porcelain or white braces. They're considered aesthetics. Usually from a distance of 10 feet and over, you can't really see them, but you still see the wire because the wire is still made of metal.
And so is it a price difference between the two?
Not really. It's just a question of using metal braces for children. Porcelain is a bit more aesthetic for adults or for the aesthetic savvy children.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
And what's this one here?
These are just pure porcelain braces.
Okay.
Now, these we use these more frequently for adults as well, but these are called self-ligating braces. Self-ligating braces are braces that actually have doors on them. So what happens is you put the wire in, and you remember in the past where you had to put elastics around the braces?
Yeah.
Well, with these braces, you don't need to anymore. You just clip the wire right in, and no need to put elastics around them.
Okay, well, will the orthodontist decide which one of these are best for me, or does...
the orthodontist decide which ones he or she feels comfortable using.
Okay.
So these are the relatively new on the market, the self-ligating brackets.
Okay. All right.
So in terms of efficiency, they both work the same. It's just a question of if a patient has to go away.
Right, but for children then, so how do you decide what's good for children if they use what they use?
I personally choose to go with the self-ligation for all my patients. This way, if they go away on camp for 10, 12 weeks and you can't see them, so elastics don't discolor or what have you, so I just use the self-ligating braces. They're the newer technology. Okay,
and speaking of new technology, you have some of that down at the end there as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have the, what we call Invasilign. Invasilign has been in the market for a little over 10 years.
Okay.
And these are the braces. They're invisible braces.
Those are braces?
Well, yes, we should show you how they look like. They're actually plastic retainers. And the company will not tell us, obviously, what the plastic is made of. We just know it's not harmful. That's all we need to know. The FDA says it's not harmful, so we take their word for it. The company is based out of California, obviously where Hollywood is, so you straighten your teeth with these plastic.
And we have some pictures of there as well, and so that works. That's like having braces for some people.
Absolutely. It works the exact same way. They're invisible. They're removable. The only difference is they're removable. The patient can take them off.
Now, is it for minor work? As you can see there, she didn't need a whole lot of work, right?
Actually, nowadays, we can do a lot more than we ever did in the past. It's actually progressed quite nicely that we can do a lot more complicated cases than we ever did in the past.
Really, with those?
With those
Well, that's
cases.
probably a great option for a lot of people. Listen, Dr. Samdar, thank you very much. I'm
Thank you.
so glad I learned all this morning, as I'm sure a lot of parents are. Let's find out what's going on in traffic and weather.